Welcome back to Growth Stack Live, where we unpack what's actually working right now for service-based business owners scaling in the AI economy. This isn't theory, it's the real patterns we're seeing from inside the growth stack each week. I had a conversation recently that stopped me cold. A business owner, sharp, successful, been at it for over a decade, told me his pipeline was solid. So I asked him to break it down. He paused and said, "Referrals mostly, word of mouth," and I just let it sit. Because what he described isn't a pipeline, it's a prayer. And the dangerous part is, everything felt fine, clients were happy, revenue was coming in, the phone was ringing, it looked like momentum, until you realize there's no system underneath it, no engine, just a lot of hope. That's what this week's issue is about, the hope-based pipeline trap. And this is one of the most common blind spots I see in service businesses, not because people are doing something wrong, but because referrals feel right, they're warm, they convert, they reinforce that you're doing good work. But here's the problem, they're not controllable, they're a byproduct and not a system. And when your pipeline is built on something you don't control, you're not running a growth strategy, you're waiting. Now, if you're not already getting the growth stack in your inbox, the link's down below. Every Thursday, we send you a deep breakdown like this, plus 3 curated reads on business growth, wealth, and peak performance, plus our implementation blueprint, where strategy meets action with simple steps to apply what you just learned. All right, here's where the shift happens. The operators with consistent, predictable growth aren't necessarily better. They've just made one key decision. They stopped leaving their pipeline to chance. They adopted what I call the hunting mindset. Hunters don't wait for opportunities. They define exactly who they want to work with. They know where those people are, and they build a repeatable system to reach them every week. That's the difference. Now, a lot of people hear that and think, I've tried outbound, it doesn't work. But most outbound doesn't fail because it's a bad strategy. It fails because of execution. The targeting is too broad. The messaging is generic. The consistency disappears the moment things get busy, so it turns into noise. And noise gets ignored. The operators who make this work do the opposite. They get extremely specific about who they target. They make the message actually relevant, not just personalized with a name. And most importantly, they stay consistent, because consistency is what turns outbound into a pipeline. Now here's where things get interesting. AI changes the math completely. What used to require a full team, researchers, SDRs, copywriters, can now be handled by systems. Targeting gets faster, personalization scales, follow-ups don't fall through the cracks, and suddenly what used to be expensive and unrealistic becomes accessible. This is what I call the AI-powered sales machine, not a tool, a system, one that fills your pipeline without relying on chance. And the businesses building this right now, they're pulling ahead fast. So here's the bottom line. Referrals matter, relationships matter, word of mouth matters, but none of that is a system. And in 2026, it's not enough on its own. The shift isn't from referrals to outbound. It's from hoping to hunting, from waiting to building. So I'll leave you with this. If your referrals stop tomorrow, would your pipeline still grow or would it stall? Let me know where you're at, and I'll see you next week.